Says we're live. Do you believe it? Don't you believe it? All right. It's a live Jive with your host Frank Monday coming at you with a vibrating tooth. Why is my tooth vibrating when I speak? It's not even loose. Motherfucker's rooted in there. Oh, I had a dental filling. And now for the rest of my life, I'm gonna have a vibrating dental filling. How fucking exciting. Just have to get used to it, I guess. That's what the doctor always tells me. Yo, Jeff, what up, Monsieur Tiedrick? I don't know why I want to say Monsieur, but for some reason, whenever I see the name Tiedrick, I just think Monsieur. I don't know why that is. I think it's because your picture on your account. I'm doing good, man. I'm having my first smoke of the morning on the morning grind here in the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon. I got a vibrating tooth in the back of my skull. Yeah, I think it's because your profile pic on your account here on the boob tube, you look like old portraits of King Henry. Which one was it? King Henry the Fourth or the Third? Charlemagne. So you look like a Frenchman to me. At least your profile pic of what I can see of it, you look like a Frenchman. And hell, I don't know, what's a Frenchman look like anyway? I guess, what's a Frenchman look like? It looks like Jeff Tiedrick. I am suspicious that you're an American, though. You have a distinctly American diction. Hey, look, somebody else is out there. It's Paul and Silver Fox and all them good-looking, sexy people out in Happy Land. Hope y'all are doing well today. I just got started on the highway here. I just pulled out into the highway, and everybody's dragging ass. Am I late? Am I running late? That's the big fucking question. No, I'm not. I've been trying to leave 10 minutes early so I could spend some more time with you guys. But, you know, best laid plans of mice and men, y'all. It just doesn't fucking work out. I've got my routine set where I am lucky to get out the door at 6:15. But I was up at 4 a.m. this morning, which kind of sucks. I don't typically like to get up at 4, but I was woke from dreamland by the odious and fulsome hag of the night. She was trying to squeeze one out of me. You know how that works. So I jumped up screaming, "Yod hey va hey! Get behind me, Satan!" And he's like, "I'll get behind you. I'll get behind you with a 12-inch strap on, baby. I'll get behind you. I'll get in front of you. I'll get wherever you want me." And I was like, "Motherfucker, get on up out the way, bitch." I said, "Get on up out the way." I said, "I don't need your happy shit. I don't need your happy ass trying to block my way, biatch." I said, "Get on up. Get on up out the way." Yeah, the succubus, the old hag, she was trying to come on to me this morning. And, oh, yeah, okay, so why not? I'll launch into sex magic for men. I don't know women, because I'm not a woman. What kind of woman you think I am anyway? All right, so for men's sex magic, the retention of the semen is really important over a long period of time. Don't listen to your doctor about that prostate bullshit. You need to retain that seminal fluid over a long period of time. Anyway, I won't go too deep into it because I know the girls out there, they don't really want to hear me talking about that. But the essential equation in the theory of thirds is that everything comes in threes, right? So in the human body, there are three, or the division of the value of fluids is 3. So the saliva is 100 times as valuable as water. So that's where we start in the division of threes. In the 3 internal liquids of the body, the 3 that are divided here anyway. So a drop of water, a drop of saliva, your glandular fluid in your mouth, is as valuable as 100 drops of water. So the idea is that you shouldn't spit unnecessarily. Even talking dissipates your saliva, right? It takes a lot of saliva to talk. So a drop of saliva is the value of 100 drops of water. That's what's required for the body to produce it. A drop of blood is the value of 100 drops of saliva. So we're talking value of production in the body and the richness of its mineral composition. Now here's the big thing. This is from Guo in his classic on longevity. He said, okay, so let me get that equation, break it down for you so you know how valuable this shit is. A drop of saliva, 100 drops of water. A drop of blood, 100 drops of saliva for production. And yeah, you knew where this was going, right? A drop, it's called ED in Chinese. A drop of semen is as valuable as 10,000 drops of blood. So you could see the ratio there for value of the intrinsic fluid. That dude literally was stopping on the on-ramp to the super highway. And sometimes you think, does he know something I don't know? Is there a reason why he's dropping his speed down to 40 as he emerges onto the international superhighway? And it's like, no, because he's a fucking idiot. He didn't have his coffee. He hasn't been up cultivating his transformation of Jing Qi into Shen. He doesn't know what's going on. Mother father. So you could see how valuable your essence is. I remember when I was a boy, one of the older kids told me, he said, hey, did you know you can only ejaculate 100 times in your life before you drop dead? That's how valuable he thought the fluid was. And I was like, are you serious? Oh my God. And he's like, yeah, you better take it easy. He's like, how many times have you already wasted? And I'm like, 100 minus blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait a goddamn minute, you're lying to me. I figured that shit out pretty quick. But it's essentially true. In the teaching and understanding of Tao and cultivating male sexuality, that stuff is more precious than gold. And you have to retain it within the body for a long time. And it works in combination with your magic. I had an uncle, and he told me, he said, but my doctor told me in order to keep the prostate healthy, you had to ejaculate 11 times a day. And I looked at him like, are you fucking out of your mind? You'll be dead in a week. 11 times a day. It robs the body of all your trace elements every time you shoot one. Master Mantak Chia of what's the name of his company? I forget. But he says that it takes the body when you're young, like in your 30s, about 100 days, 99 days to replenish the quality of your effluvial fluid? Anyway, so for men, here's the essential equation. When you're in your 20s, once a week is okay. My Kung Fu Shifu told me, he said a couple of times a week, no big deal when you're in your 20s. When you're in your 30s, a couple of times a month, no big deal. He said when you hit your 40s, you should be up to your 100-day challenge every time. 40 through 60, you got to go 100 days in between, boom, shooting the cannon, all right? He said after 60, once or twice a year is the allowed allotment. He said once you're after that age, if you really want to live past 100, you had better get in the mindset that you're never going to lose it again. Now, some people think, well, fuck, that means I can't have any sex. No, the equation for sex is 10 sexual encounters to 1 ejaculation once you hit 40. So once you're 40, you should be mastering your sexual kung fu. So there you have it, whether you wanted to know or not. I don't know if there's any girls out there in the in Happy Land, but they're probably thinking, oh, good God, what did I tune into here this morning? Sweet heavens. But Boobies is out there, and Boobies is like, yeah, Frank, preach it, brother. I hear you. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so Boobies wants to know what's the secret, and there it is, friend. The more sex you have, the more sex you will have, but not until you have a grand finale. If you're having a grand finale every time, you're on your way to the grave very quickly. If you do it correctly and you're a dragon lover, then many how am I going to word this? There's no way to word this. I can't talk about this on live television. What are you trying to do? You trying to put me in a pickle here? Get your pickle on lock. Let me see, you got your pickles locked out there? If you got your pickle locked, give me a yo. Come on. Let's see them yos out in Happy Land. Yeah, so the longer you go and you cultivate that energy and you still participate in the bedroom arts, the more paranormal and magical encounters you'll have. After a 100-day retention, now to join the 100-day magical challenge, you don't have to do 100 days of retention. In fact, if you don't know something about Chinese Qigong and internal alchemy, I don't recommend you change your habits at all. One time I was at a stand-up comedy thing, and I asked one of my bros, I'm in my mid-30s at the time, and this guy, he's probably a little younger than me, maybe late 20s, and I said, hey, bro, no, how did it go? I forgot how it went. I said, what's your emission frequency? I said, just out of curiosity, what's your emission frequency? Because he was talking about, he's a lady hound and stuff, and he's pretty proud. But I noticed he was going bald, and he's only, pushing 30. And I said, bro, what's your emission frequency? And he said, what do you mean emission frequency? He's like, bro, I don't even have a car. I walk and take the bus. And I'm like, no, man, no. How many times per encounter are you blowing your trumpet? And he had no Ni hao, 无快是吗？给，谢谢，再见。She was friendly. She wasn't chatty though. She's like, I'm just gonna take your money and give you a receipt, and you get your bad ass on out of here. And I'm like, nah, let's chill and have a little banter. How about I climb in that toll booth with you? Anyway, so I asked him what his emissions frequency was, and he had no idea what I was talking about. And I'm like, bro, how many times are you knocking one out in a given month? And he thought that was the funniest fucking thing he'd ever heard. He's like, I've never had anyone ask me that, bro. And I'm like, man, that's essential alchemical science for the man. The man has to learn to understand this. A woman does not. That's why the teaching of Tao, specifically sexual Kung Fu, is more geared towards making men competent lovers. Because women have all the sexual power. All they have to do is avoid encounter during their... I'm not even gonna talk about it because it's got nothing to do with me. I'm not a woman. What kind of woman you think I am anyway? With a mustache and a penis? That shit ain't cute. I ain't no kind of lady you'd wanna take home on a Friday night. Yeah, so that shit baffles me. Obviously I went too far down the rabbit hole for some of you, and I apologize. Sometimes I forget. I thought it was a locker room full of boys out there, and I'm like, fellas, it's time to hit that field. And I'm just giving them a pep talk, cause nigga shay, Boobies Tits is out there looking to make his numbers, and he there ain't nothing gonna stop that motherfucker. Now that he's like a dog with a bone, now that he's got the knowledge and he knows about bedroom arts, he's gonna be looking online to get himself a sulfur ring. So there's a ring you can get. It's made of sulfur, and it's a part of your Dragon Lover bedroom arts kit. You need to get one of those, bro. I was big into that shit back in my late teens, early 20s. I was like, I got this Dragon Lover shit figured out, you know? Butt plugs and all that old happy horse shit. I was holding on to my semen for 2-3 years at a time, turning it into golden elixir. I literally levitated off the meditation cushion one time. I had so much dynamic psychosexual energy stored up and circulated through the Dantian. I could manifest gold coins out of the air. Apportion, teleport. It's when you manifest things from the unseen sphere. Yeah, I was big into it, man. I learned the magic early on. So that's a part of it. And the sexuality of life is totally misunderstood by a lot of people. A lot of people misinterpret the story of Jesus and his beloved wife, high priestess of the esoteric order, Mary Magdalene. They don't understand it. They don't get it. They didn't learn Chinese Qigong and bedroom arts, so they don't get the story. They don't know what the cup of life is. But, and then they profane it too. So a lot of it's profaned. And it's a battlefield out there, man. But I'm here with you. I'm your coach. I'm gonna coach you through it. I'll get in there with you, boobies, when you're on, when you're trying to make it happen. And I'll coach you through. I'll hold your hand. I'll be like, bro, you gotta back off. Yeah, so everyone needs a guru at one point in their life. I had several gurus throughout my life, and it's good to find the right guru too, right? A good guru can do well for you, but a bad guru, and all gurus are bad, right? And they have their beneficial aspects and they have their negative aspects. I can't maintain a thread this morning, man. I don't know what's going on. I got a little bit shy because I realized there were ladies out in the ideas room. Because when it started, it was just Anthony and Boobies and Paul, and everyone's like, yeah, let's be dragon lovers, man. Tell us about the Dragon Lover kit. What's in that? What's the equation? How valuable is your blood? And I'm like, there's something more valuable than blood, my friend. So I'll take it back down to a children-friendly Live Drive Jive archive. And I reiterate, please, look, nobody's hit the thumbs up, man. Nobody's going to give me a single cold goose up the bum. That's a little bit fucking disappointing and disconcerting. That's why I do it, man. You got to run in there and bam, shove that thumb right up my bum. That'll fucking put the lead in my pencil. Jesus Christ. Here I am trying to run a PG-13 show, and not a single one of you good-looking, sexy people out in Happy Land is even willing to give me the thumb. Good God in heaven, y'all. All right, I got one thumb. If I can get 2 thumbs, it's fucking party time, man. I will reveal an ancient esoteric secret for you if I can get just 2 thumbs out in Happy Land. Come on, guys, hit the thumbs up. Give me a yo. Let me know you're still alive. All right? And I got 2. If I can get 3 thumbs up, I will open Pandora's box and spill the entire contents all over your face. Can I get 3? I can't even get 3 thumbs out of you guys. What are you guys doing out there in Happy Land? Come on, hit that thumbs up. All right, we're coming up on Plum Blossom Lane, y'all. So the Greeks, yeah, I got my 3 thumbs. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I will reveal the secret. Here it comes. The Greek culture, they were big on transmitting the esoteric knowledge to young men, and they would keep what they called, the older guys would keep what they call Adonises, young men, in their council, in their consort. And one of the thing is they were big into pedophilia and sexual grooming, and they knew about the secrets of sexual alchemy and sexual alchemical science. And so in order to pass the transmission, they tell the young men they had to suck seed. You know, if you're gonna suck seed there, sonny, then you gotta suck seed. And so they would lay it on them, man. And they felt that part of the genetic message was passed through the semen, and that in order for the Adonises to gain spiritual and alchemical learning, they had to swallow a certain amount of that stuff. I mean, I think it's a little bit dude and crass. I personally disagree with it, but that's the way they did it. So there you have it. There you have it. And that's why altar boys, you know, gotta watch they back, because they because you know how those priests feel, man. There's nothing as tight as a 12-year-old boy's ass, and they certainly do enjoy their fair share of them. Me personally, I think it's dirty. I think it's odious, fulsome, offensive. I think children should be left alone in the purity of their youth. But Greek culture, man, that's why the Spartans called them boy lovers. I'm more of a Spartan, you know, I'm a Stoic and a Spartan. And first and foremost, I'm a Taoist. And Taoists don't play that game. In natural law, they say that it's not great to be a homosexual. That it is that occasionally in a well-governed society, like a naturally ordered society, that will happen occasionally, but it won't be very frequent. That the order of the day will be traditional family structures, and not nuclear, extended. You know, you'll have the grandparents hanging around helping you raise the grandkids and all that happy horse shit. So I'm a traditionalist, and when I say a traditionalist, I mean an extended family where you take care of the old folks and they get to play with the grandchildren, and everybody's kind of real close to each other. Hell, if you built homes correctly, then a 3-generation family, 3 even 4-generation family could live in a single family home, and that would be the ideal. I figured out we've only got about 120 square feet of space in our little apartment. So think of that, Frank Monday living with his wife and his 2 kids in 120 square feet. You think your house is small, huh? That's probably about the size of your bathroom or maybe your walk-in closet, and that's the extent of my living conditions. Thankfully, the only thing I ever do there is sleep, right? I watch my kids study in the evening and then I sleep. If I had to use it for anything else, I'd be a little bit upset with the size of my prison cell. But it's nice that I've got a prison cell that I can keep a wife and children in, right? If I could find a job back in the US that would pay me a living wage, I might come home. But I've tried 3 times in the past 10 years and spent 6 months looking, and I'd rather live in 100 square feet of space and be able to feed my children than be on the street and become a victim of freedom. So broadcasting to you live from the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, it is Frank Monday on the Morning Grind. I'm about to fire up a JCP. Funny thing about YouTube is if you hit the thumbs up and then later on you're reticent about it, right? You're recalcitrant and you're like, I think Frank Monday offended me. He ruffled my goddamn feathers. Then you can go back and remove your thumbs up and hit the thumbs down. So I mean, it's not like you're not putting a ring on it. You know, you can always go back and check the video and be like, yeah, I don't know. I think I heard him say motherfucker, and that offended me. You know, I don't support people who use foul language when they're stuck in traffic. I remember when Anthony first subbed to my channel. I don't know if he's subbed now anymore or not, but he went in and like I was there. I was online about the same time, and I noticed he down thumbed like 11 videos in a row. He just went through my backlist and he down thumbed them all. And but then he gave up. I mean, even a bot can't get in there and hit a down thumb on every single video. So he gave up after like 10 or 11 of them, and I'm like, ha ha, motherfucker, you ain't got no determination. You gonna fuck with Frank Monday, you gonna get in there and down thumb every goddamn one of them. And there's 800 now. I'm about to hit 800 videos. That's a lot of videos, man. Some of them over an hour long. You could literally listen to 800 hours of me talking shit. Guys, we have arrived at the yard and we are 10 minutes early. Can you believe it? That means I can sit here for 10 minutes. Man, I could smoke a pack of cigarettes in 10 minutes. Just kidding. I mean, I could, but I won't. All right. I can sit here and look at the chat. This is a first. Wow, there are 6 people in the ideas room. That's a really good crowd out there tonight, man. I hope you guys are doing well. Y'all good looking, sexy people. I'm gonna scroll back up here a little bit and look at some of this chat. There's chit chat going on. I like that. I think it's cute when y'all chat. All right, so first and foremost, Jeff Tiedrich's here. Jeff, I like Jeff a lot. He's a Frenchman. He looks like Henry IV. I'll just nickname you Charlemagne. So from now on, you're Charlemagne. Silver Fox is out there sporting the Americana. God save America, right? Or God bless America. Our country 'tis of thee, great land of liberty. Paul's out there. All right, Paul hailing in from the Emerald Isle. The real Anthony's back. Good man. The OG Anthony has, he's seen the light of day, y'all. Look, Diane's out there too. Greetings and salutations, Diane. wherever you may be, whenever you may be. Paul, I said hello to Paul. Hi, Diane. Yo, yo, yo. I like to see them yos, man. You guys know how that fucking puts the pep in my step. It puts the vigor, the vitality in my vigor. Chilling like a villain. Anthony's out there. Paul, Diane, Silver Fox, Jeff Tiedrick, Senor Tiedrick. Yeah, so in the theory of thirds, the division of threes, the first great division is the cosmos above, the great earth plane below, and humankind in the middle. Then the next division of threes is within the human body, and it's known as Jing, Qi, and Shen. Jing is the lower elixir field, also known as the lower Dantian. And then, so it divides into 3 Dantians, which also divide into the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. And in the magical system, they're called Volantia, Decreeism, and Possism. Volantia and Decreeism alternate, though. They oscillate. Volantia and Possism. Whereas Decreeism is the cauldron. It's the center Dantian. Hey, Tits is out there. Mikhail Boobies. I just call him Tits for short. I guess, Anthony, I'll start calling you Tony. Tony, what do you say, Tony? It's good to see you, Tony. Tony, I got a job for you. Paul Fahey. All right, give me death or give me freedoms out there. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining the ideas room. Knocking them out of the park. And finally, Little Fish. Little Fish tuned in late. Little Fish is in the ideas room. Little Fish is our in-house astrologer, guys. So if you have any questions about astrotheology or astrology, you can seek out Little Fish. She has definitely, and her daughter, if her daughter's there. Say hello to your daughter for me if she's there. China YouTube is slow. Yeah, I see that. Let me catch up with the chat. I gets no shout out. Yo, yeah, I gave you a shout out. Give me death or give me freedom. A real patriot. Yes, hi to Sith. S-I-T-H, Sith. Sith. I can't figure that name out, Little Fish. I apologize. Boobies is out there. Good to see you, Boobies. All right, so where did we leave off? The theory of thirds and the Great Division, the 100-day magical challenge. No lockdowns in Peking. Twilight Zone Old Peking is different than the rest of China. This is the state of God. This is the seat of the throne of the Yellow Emperor. So I'm right here in Uncle Xi's backyard. Hunter Biden's here. He's right across from the academy. He's building a 5-star golf resort with a bathhouse. And he's already got it filled up with 15-year-old hookers, man. And crack rock like you would not believe. I'm wondering if Joe will come over, Beijing Biden, if he'll come over and kiss the ring. Yeah, so this is the seat of central authority globally. And Hunter is building a 5-star resort. I sneak in and look at the ground plans, you know, because they're building underground catacombs too, where they can get it on with all the young girls they kidnap from the... There's about 10 international schools right here in this little area. So I'm sure that they'll be kidnapping, you know, little girls 13 to 15 to put in Hunter's dungeon. So he's over here sucking on a glass dick. And I've seen him at the shopping mall and shit, you know, and at the clubs. He goes to Vicks and Mix and tries to pick up, you know, hookers and stuff. But they know his game. They know he likes to strangle them. So I don't know, you know, Beijing Biden, what are you going to do? He's fucking bending over, taking one up the bunghole. It's, you know, people think they're like, oh my God, you're in China. And I'm like, what do you mean, bro? It's 1 international superstate. You're not in the country you think you're in. You're in a domain of Huawei. All those cameras going up all over your neighborhood, all that 5G, that's coming straight down from the crown, from the central kingdom. It's all just radiating out. I mean, I'm right here next to the Dragon Throne, where Beijing Biden, you know, president-elect of the US, comes over and gets on his fucking hands and knees and grovels in front of the emperor. So Russia gave a phone call the other day, you know, and he was giving old Yellow Emperor the thumbs up, and he's like, these fucking plebes, they think we're at war. Somebody got in the chat the other day and they're like, you're in China, bro? Don't you know that China's the US's #1 rival? And I'm like, bro, oh my gosh, what kindergarten did you fail to graduate from that you think the royal families are fighting with each other? The only battle is the global elite against your punk ass, your enslaved wage slave ass. If there's any kind of war, it's just to kill off plebes. I thought you guys knew that, man. But obviously some people don't. They're still trying to, you know, they're drinking so much corporate Kool-Aid day in and day out, they think they live in an independent nation state. And they're like, our country 'tis of thee. That's a daydream, man. That's a pipe dream. If you wanted to make that real, the first thing you'd have to do is eliminate the Fed. The Fed is controlled by royal families. I don't care which fucking royal family you think is doing it. There's no propaganda. Tiedrick, how can there be strong propaganda against China when there's 200,000 mainland Chinese immigrating to the US every year? There are literally over 2 million mainland Chinese now stationed in Southern California. Does that sound like there's competition between these two countries? Yes, the competition is Americans are losing every inch of land they own. The only battle is the deep state against the common American person. No, the mainstream media is pushing the propaganda, right? It's not the United States, man. I mean, what century are you living in that you still think there's a United States? United Commie States. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of politics going on, and you know, you can, I realize that you have your in-states understanding of it, and you think, oh yeah, there's an American flag flying on the post office, right? And the post office doesn't even operate, you know. It's all just a grand takeover, man. And any type of patriotism that they try to pump into you is just to make you a insurgent and an enemy of the deep state. Yeah, media's owned, yeah, government media. I mean, is there any distinction anymore? It's all a corporate oligarchy. The only true government is the alien overlord cyborg Zuckerberg, right? With his new metaverse, working hand in glove with the CIA to perpetrate their disinformation campaign against the average American individual. Chinese aren't your enemy, bro. All those Chinese folks coming over there and setting up $500,000 homes in Southern California at the behest of the U.S. system, they're there to do tech, man. They're there to work for China and Huawei and stuff. The only war is being fought in your mind. The truth of the matter is that they're giving the country away to every immigrant group in the world, and they're intentionally moving around mass migrations of people to unsettle the local cultures, and then they're pumping Chinese-made fentanyl, flakka, into the poorest communities in America, especially the poor white communities, right? Just like they did the crack cocaine epidemic of the 60s and 70s and all the way up into the 80s. They pumped that crack cocaine into the poorest black neighborhoods. That way they can create an enslaved prison workforce right? Ooh, you got caught with a crack rock. You going to prison for 20 years, bro. Brought to you by Kamala Harris and Beijing Biden. So yeah, it's subterfuge, man. It's a corporate oligarchy, a technocracy that lords it over a global plebe populace. And then in order to create more false dichotomies, they say, "Oh, China's your enemy." And it's like, okay, then what about the 2 million Chinese that just immigrated in the last 10 years? Are they also our enemies? And why do they have $1 million suburbs all over Southern California, in suburbs that range from 60 to 100% Chinese owned, mainland Chinese owned, and they're all driving around in BMWs because they're our enemy? Really? Yeah, it makes perfect fucking sense to me. Hunter Biden would disagree. He'd be like, they're not our enemy, bro. She's 15. And me sucking on this glass dick, this is gonna be good fun. Can somebody give me a banana to shove up my ass? So anyone that buys into that horse shit is definitely drank too much corporate Kool-Aid. Definitely too much corporate Kool-Aid. Yeah, so 1913 is when the Federal Reserve privatized and is owned by the Rothschilds, right? So that's no kind of fun. Central banking owned by a single family is not the way to manage a country. You're bound to have a little bit of shit fuckery when that's the situation. It's all right long as you're not white. My brother OD'd yesterday on that Chinese retribution. I don't understand what that means. OD'd. Yeah, that's right. Give me death or freedom. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That had slipped my mind when I started talking about it. But I started researching that about 15 years ago when I first heard about it. And I knew immediately what was going on. And I met with and talked to guys when I was a Boy Scout leader, CIA, FBI, intelligence community, diplomats, and so on and so forth. Guys on the inside, when they would actually speak freely. When, when the cameras are turned off and you're like, you're in a cheap bar or something and you've had a couple of beers, they would tell you the truth. And they're like, bro, it's a global super state. And the reason they're doing it is to disenfranchise the struggling middle class. The more of that bad news opiates that infiltrates it into the middle class, the more powerful the elite families become, because they don't need a big labor force. And so if you're a struggling middle income, small business owner, you're their target, absolutely. You don't have the privilege of using slave labor out of any given region to manufacture your goods or do your business. And so you're at a strategic disadvantage to the royal families. And that's a fact. I mean, there's no disputing it. There you go, little fish. You said it right. It's a big club and we ain't in it. Y'all, sadly, the time has gotten away from me. I thought I could sit here and enjoy 15 or 20 minutes with you guys, but it's already after 7 and I gotta have my breakfast. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please hit the like button on your way out the door. Make sure to ring Pavlov's bell in case you have or have not. I will see you in the Coast to Coast chat room. Indeed, I'm going to head over there too. Thank you, little fish. Thanks, Jeff. Everybody out in Happy Land. Have a great day. I've got 8 classes today plus an elective. So I'm here from 7 to 7, 12 hours of a full schedule. As a result, yeah, and I've already done an hour this morning. So y'all good looking, sexy people, stay well out in Happy Land, and I will see you in the abodes of the future. As above, so below. I try to stay positive. No matter what happens, man, just keep on keeping on, and good magic.